We've finally done it, guys. The Premier League title is officially home right where it belongs, and after a long, intense and exhausting campaign. But before we dive into our usual post-match analysis, we just want to take a moment to thank every single one of you for your support. From day one when this channel started all the way through this season, you've pushed us to keep learning, keep grinding, and keep getting better at what we do. Panenka LFC wouldn't be half as consistent or passionate without you. So seriously, thank you for every like, comment, and share. It means the world to us. We're committed to giving you our all, and hopefully we'll keep growing together from here. Now, with every single game covered this season, except the Plymouth one, which we're kinda glad we didn't have to do, it's time to talk about our final match. The 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace wasn't just packed with action, but it also gave us some clues about a few lingering questions we've had all season. So enough of the emotional stuff, go ahead and smash those like and subscribe buttons, and let's get straight into the video. As always, we're kicking things off with a quick look at the starting lineup. Alisson kept his spot in goal with Connor Bradley, Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk and Andrew Robertson making up the backline. In midfield, Ryan Gravenberch sat at the base, while Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai played in their usual double 8 roles, with Mac Allister already off on his early break. Up front, it was the same familiar trio. Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo, and Luis Diaz leading the line. Now onto the actual game, it was pretty much total domination from start to finish. The stats don't lie. We controlled possession, had an 81% field tilt, which basically means we spent most of the match in Palace's half. This is without mentioning our intense pressing. On average, we allowed just 4.62 passes per defensive action, showing just how aggressive and sharp we were off the ball. Even when you look at the game momentum, it was clear that things were going our way for most of the match, even after Gravenberch's red card. But guys, all these numbers and possession stats we're talking about mean nothing without real chance creation and threat in the final third. Sure, we created a few chances, but most of them didn't come from sustained pressure. Take that Darwin chance for example. It came from a brilliant long ball by Trent and had an XG of 0.54. If you take that out of our total 2.17 XG, you're left with 1.63. That's actually less than what Crystal Palace managed. So why couldn't we turn all that dominance into more clear goal scoring chances? Well, there was one sequence that summed up exactly what we struggled with. If you look at this picture, you can see how deep our fullbacks were positioned. Now, that's not unusual. Our usual build-up shape has the fullbacks sitting deep and narrow. But the problem here is that this positioning didn't give Bradley and Robertson the chance to time their runs into the half space properly. They were starting so deep that their movements were easy to read, especially against the Crystal Palace side defending with 5 players on their back line. Even when the ball was played directly to Salah, you could see how far Bradley was from offering a passing option into the pockets. This made our play a bit too predictable. Palace were able to tightly mark our wingers, double up on them, and also track Szoboszlai's runs in behind without much trouble. The second issue was simple and familiar. We had no box presence. With Palace forcing us wide for most of the game, we needed a physical presence in the box to stretch the field horizontally and occupy at least one of their centre-backs. Instead, we had Curtis Jones making late runs into the box, while Salah tried to attack crosses arriving at the far post. Now, while it looks like we're going into the summer transfer window guns blazing, we still haven't heard any real rumours linking us with a new number 9. And this isn't a new issue, we saw the same problem in the EFL Cup, where we lacked a proper box threat against Newcastle. So, should we be in the market for a new striker this summer? And if the Wirtz signing actually happens, would that block a move for a proper number 9? Let us know what you think in the comments and tell us who your top pick would be for that position. Now, remember how we mentioned that our fullbacks were too deep at times, which stopped them from arriving into space at the right moment? Well, when we actually pushed higher, the problem flipped. Both fullbacks were too static, and at times even too high to make those kinds of runs. This lack of dynamic movement into the box was another reason why our play became predictable. But that's not all. Luis Diaz, who played as a false 9, spent most of his time in the left half space and often dropped deeper to help with build-up. This was another reason we struggled to create consistently. Not only did Diaz leave the box empty, but when he got the ball in central areas, he didn't really link up play quickly or time his switches well. Just to be clear, we're not blaming the player. He's just not the kind of guy you rely on to unlock tight defensive blocks. And this brings us to something we've been thinking about. Diaz was moving in the same spaces where Wirtz would operate if he ends up joining us, and having a player of Wirtz's quality in that zone could be absolutely devastating against low blocks. So, do you think this was something Slot was experimenting with? By the way, we're working on a new video that explains how Wirtz could be used under Arne Slot, so make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. But enough of the negative talk. We actually saw something positive that might become a regular feature next season. A lot of people have been wondering how a fullback pairing of Frimpong and Kerkez would work. And for good reason. Both are very attacking minded, and using them together without a plan could be risky, maybe even suicidal if not handled well. Well, we've got a video coming sooner than you think that dives deep into how both players can be used at the same time. And interestingly enough, against Crystal Palace, we saw something that ties directly into what we discussed in that video. So here's a quick teaser. Notice here how Gravenberch drops into the backline, with Konate shifting wider and almost acting as a right back. This gives Bradley the freedom to bomb forward without leaving the backline exposed. At the same time, when Gravenberch pushed up, it was Szoboszlai who dropped deeper instead, offering another passing option and giving Bradley even more license to push higher. These kinds of positional rotations where midfielders drop between or beside the centre-back duo are something we'll likely see a lot more of next season, especially if we're trying to unleash two attacking fullbacks like Frimpong and Kerkez. Again, we go into this in much more detail in an upcoming video, so make sure you don't miss it. And that's a wrap for today's video, guys. As always, thank you so much for sticking with us all the way through. We know the season had its ups and downs, but finishing it off as champions, that just makes everything worth it. The grind, the injuries, the close calls, every bit of it paid off. Now the real question is, what's next? What do you think Arne Slot's first move should be? Should we go all in for a number 9, or would you be happy seeing Wirtz as the main addition to the attack? And what are your thoughts on the fullback situation? Can Frimpong and Kerkez actually work together without leaving us exposed? We've got a lot of exciting content coming your way during the off-season. Transfer breakdowns, tactical deep dives, player analysis, you name it. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to see it when it drops. Also, let us know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see during the break. More tactical stuff, transfer rumours, or maybe a full season recap of some of our standout players. Once again, thank you all for your support. Every like, every share, every comment, they all mean the world to us. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.